So with Spider-Man Far From Home, the decision was made very early on to use Mysterio as the villain. Now, as it turns out, this wasn't just one of those things where they were like, alright, just pick a villain we haven't done before and we'll go forward with that. They actually sat down, discussed it, and figured out why exactly it was the perfect time to use Mysterio in this film. So Mysterio in the MCU is certainly one of the most interesting villains they've ever had, considering he doesn't exactly present a real threat himself. It's all about those illusions, those tricks, and him playing with your mind. And John Watts, the director of Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming, talked about the fact that very early on, after they completed Homecoming, and they were starting to sit down and talk with the writers of Endgame and Infinity War, and of course the directors, they were kind of revealed the details of what happens and the snap, the 5-year jump and everything. And ultimately, when they heard about that, they thought of the confusion and chaos that it would cause if it was a real world effect. And who would take advantage of that? And that's when they landed on Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio. Because if you look at Mysterio, he's all about illusions. He's all about taking advantage of you not seeing the truth there and kind of molding, I guess you could say, false visions, if you will. And if you really think about it, it makes a lot of sense because after the Avengers, after all this happens, an event like the blip, after that, why wouldn't you believe that there's a dude who's another magician? Like Doctor Strange is like down the street, right? Like half the universe disappeared, then reappeared. Like there's all sorts of weird stuff happening. So Mysterio could literally show up, claim anything, make some illusions, and people are willing to believe it because one guy on Earth that does magic, there's already a few other ones out there, and God knows that there's aliens and space and all this other stuff. So yeah, it was kind of the smart choice, and that's kind of the decision that they ultimately were trying to make. They're like, this is the obvious one. You use Mysterio, and then with Peter specifically, once they learn that Tony dies, they're like, well, he's going to be in depression. Mysterio, again, can use those feelings, illusions, and mess with him. So, yeah, honestly, it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Like, I can't think of another villain that would have fit that mold perfectly. Like, you could be like, Osborn. Yes, but no. Same thing with, like, Doc Ock, Rhino. Like, you could see how they could have fit him in there, but none of them would have thematically been able to keep up with what Mysterio does. And honestly, I think they make the right choice there.